Hello, everyone. The man who killed my son will be up for parole on December 6, 2026. So now I'm in the process of writing a parole letter. I will probably revise it many times before December 6th. Now, several questions need to be answered. I will describe each in detail in another video. But today I'm discussing the question of requesting parole restrictions. Remember always to check your state's requirements. I am not an attorney, but a mother continuing to fight for justice for my son, Kenley. I'm Sarah Rainey, Kenley's mom. Today I'm here to share why I firmly believe the person responsible for my son's death should not be granted parole. Also, to delay his next parole hearing as long as the law allows. First off, I am asking for strict rules if paroled is considered. This includes him staying entirely away from alcohol and drugs, monitored by a SCRAM device. That's SCRAM. The SCRAM device is a continuous remote alcohol monitor that tracks alcohol levels through the skin 24/7. It is designed to be tamper resistant and appropriately alerts authorities if tampering occurs. Now the SCAM device is critical because he only followed the rules when monitored by technology in the past. Despite the cost, there's a help if he can't afford it. Go figure. But it highlights a more significant issue. Victims like us often feel overlooked, dealing with costs and promises that don't pan out. Let's talk about why he shouldn't get parole. He dodged rules before, like avoiding an alcohol breathalyzer and ID. An ignition interlock device is a breathalyzer for an individual's vehicle. It requires the driver provide a breath sample before the car can start. If any alcohol is detected above a preset level, the vehicle will not start, preventing the driver from operating the vehicle under the influence of alcohol. Now, the cost and responsibility for an ID falls to the individual required to install it. The overall expense includes a one-time installation fee, $70 to $150, monthly rental charges, $60 to $90, and possible costs for regular maintenance and eventual removal of the device, potentially leading to a considerable sum of money. Prices vary by location and provider, encouraging comparison shopping. Where you shop, I'd have no idea. Maybe Costco's. Additionally, some jurisdictions offer financial assistance for those unable to bear the cost, making exploring local resources for support essential. To me, it is so frustrating to think that a felon gets so much financial help. Think of how many lives would be saved with this device. My son would be practicing emergency room doctor and a DA expert, married to his soulmate, and I would have a grandchild named Hattie Elizabeth. But now I have no one. I'm alone. Of course, as all criminals do, he came up with excuses. He also went missing for 6 months on the first bond and 3 months on the second bond. When his probation officer was asked why he was not being monitored regularly, she said she was overworked. This meant he did not provide urine samples to check in for alcohol consumption. So essentially he was driving and drinking for 2 years. I have a friend who lost her daughter because of a drunk driver who did not follow the rules. I am sure there are many others. How many more will there be if drunks are bonded out or paroled and not monitored because the probation officer is overworked? Time and time again, this man showed that he doesn't follow the rules, posing a risk to everyone. Also, I'm asking for him to spend 72 hours in jail each year on the anniversary of Kenley's death to reflect on his actions. This day is a painful reminder for me, and I believe he should spend it reflecting too. Financially, I am seeking $10,000 for the cost I've had to bear because of his actions. I am proposing a monthly payment plan of $83.33 for 10 years. Plus, I want written apologies to Kenley's fiancée and me, acknowledging the pain and the loss he caused. He should complete a 20-year sentence if he breaks any parole rules. His actions have shown a lack of remorse, and his history suggests he's likely to reoffend. Taking away his driver's license seems necessary to prevent further harm. Now, although I know not all my requests might be accepted, they are based on a clear pattern of behavior that suggests he's a danger to others. Statistics show many reoffend quickly. 40% the first year, 70% within 3 years. And I want to ensure no other family suffers like ours. This is my cry for justice, my call to ensure that the man who snuffed out the bright future of my son is held accountable and remains where he can do no more harm. This is where a parole protest letter and victim's impact statement, commonly called a VIS, can help keep the offender in prison. And again, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now, a VIS statement allows crime victims to describe the crime's impact on their lives to the court, influencing sentencing and parole decisions. It provides insight and emotional, physical, and financial toll on victims and their families, offering you a voice in justice. Again, a squeaky wheel. I understand why parole exists. It's there to give folks who've done time to get back on track and prove that they've changed. I agree if no one was hurt. But honestly, why should anyone get a second chance for murder? Our loved ones' lives were taken forever, and we have a life sentence of sorrow and loneliness. Parole doesn't sit right with me. The man who took my son's life was in and out of trouble for years. He has had many chances, and because he was given these chances, he was free to take my son's life. This doesn't seem fair. Here is the man who's up for parole. Do you think he has learned his lesson? He has been in and out of trouble for years for speeding with an open container, domestic assault where he was assigned to a violence intervention program, and community service. Next, he was arrested for domestic violence where he had to go through a batterer intervention program for 18 months and serve community service. He was released on September 23, 2018. 8 weeks later, he killed my son. Do you want him out on the street? This is why there have been 13,000 deaths because of drunk drivers in a year. Now they are saying he could get out early. This is an insult to me as a mother. My son never got a second chance. I'm sentenced to a lifetime heartache without my only child. It's only fair that the person who caused this pain should have to pay for what he has done, and to me. That means staying behind bars for a long, long time, at least 20 years. That's justice. That's recognizing that my son's life mattered. But I have to accept the plea deal for 10 years with the chance for parole in 5 years. This is why a parole protest letter is so important. It gives victims a way to keep offenders in prison. I share my story to help others in similar situations feel less alone. I'm Sarah Rainey, proud mother of Dr. Kenley Jean Rainey, who was lost far too soon to a senseless act. Thank you for being a part of the journey with me. Please, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and tell others so that we, victims, have a voice. Thank you.